Well, good morning, my country people. They must throw a salute for any plan a day. Today, I make the podcast now for outside as I go for work. So, even at the year, noise in my background, when I hear the word Xing Shong, Chinese people that talk, may gonna forgive me. I don't need to make this podcast today while I for road to go for my work. So, my country people, them, I always avoid for listen for certain audios because when some people they make some audio, if I listen them, it will force me make a react. It will trigger me for react. And for one sake, I should don't keep myself some time where I need it. No be all time while they listen them. So people that I'm bring for my attention some audio way, even patch either may make and they resend them, but I don't decide for ignore them because some people in the way. They purposefully want to make a talk about them. Oma mentioned to it, they talk so that they will get small voice, they will get small traction for people then for listen for them. So I avoid for una sake for not listen for some people them or for respond for some people them. So but plenty of people that don't tell me say some this Digimas, he don't send out some audio. If I make a listen and fine because he talks something for the way people that hear they don't understand. He don't give impression say me and he be that make some agreement. He gave something about me where he want to expose them. But he no go expose them. I go talk, before I want to talk, I go talk some one thing where he go shake some people their heart. Digimas na the Jeve Mendoze of Ambazonia. That means say na the most ugliest man inside Ambazonian land. Bible talk say some people then they be undesirable even by man or woman in this case. He's so ugly where I'm not sure if some woman feel desire he. Some people they always send me messages, especially some of our sister them. Sister them I didn't know them for Catholic Church, where they pray for we as Ambazonians people they leader the way they for front line. No beside talk say being a leader. I don't always tell when say I no desire for being a leader. When I get leader in Dr. Chuayaba. So they always talk say Capo Daniel no use the word say shit no white blast. No ever use this strong word them. But me will pardon me. I go continue for use them. The reason is because you fight depending on the field. The field be so muddy. Like the public don't drag we for mud. They don't strip we off naked from everything we'll get and if we give you dignity. They don't take away power from our people, dismantle our infrastructure, take away justice from us, make poor sute. Would start sell back our land for cheap price to their own Bamileke people then for inside our land. Now all a strategy then. Now, so when you differ among people, they be so poor, they don't go back for primate state. They go get a lot of primitivity them amongst them naturally, and they function of the law of survivor of the fittest. So they go to fight amongst themselves. Now, why that way, dictator them or country the way they want to oppress people, they make sure me them be poor, me them be less educated, so that those things them by itself. It will keep them down. Me they not ever progress. So for you to come out from slavery, you need people the way them be very brutal. Now why do you see person like an elite like Bo Herbert? He choose for use the word nyamfuka. Not be because in a person will not be gentleman. So I want to tell you, I say I'm a gentleman, perfect gentleman. I'm a God-fearing person. So when I hear use this type of word, me gonna know the type of feel they did. So somebody like Digimas, it deserves zero respect. Now a failed activist, they talk say almost doesn't count. When you don't almost do something, you leave halfway. You know they even counts. Because if Ambazonia be the count on people like that, this struggle for that died long ago. So I want to respond for the stupidity, sheer stupidity we don't put up outside there about me. First, make address the thing will actually be important. Before I talk about it, he talk about the constitution in order, or na order in constitution, whatever. I've been a own country, they talk on a language. Una know what I mean. I mean that the constitution for Southern Cameroon, where English people then give for we Britain give for Southern Cameroon for 19 prepare of 1960, it get into effect 1961. That constitution, it will not go surprise them. Most Ambazonians and their professors, they never even read them. Because in my research, I don't do very good research for this our struggle for the legal document based on my knowledge who I study and for school. I'll be a student of law and political science at Leaf University for year 2 as a result of pressure where I get them for gendarme them, where they be catch me, beat them. Say I be organized and will be blocked university for the first year will be enter university. It make and live all my life a day in fear. And that time, we even get any support network. Like Ebenezer Kwanga, the way they get their group them, or the one the way they be there for university for Boya. Our people the way they get their group. But we will be go na Chang. University of Chang is a Bamileke land. We will not be get that support network. Our own sister, them, our own brother will be even the fear for talk for them because they be the CWE will be the reject the French system. Like people the way they strong head with them what problem. But that one a story for another time. Wait till I need to know when Digimas, when you want to show some person say you know something passy, you better prove them say you know the thing past the person because when you instead go show say you instead stupid, man they ask and say but why you even take your time for talk because your talk don't be not dirty for beings. The law for Southern Cameroon, the constitution in order in constitution whatever, it no mention citizenship. Like I talk for my audio. The reason why, now because the law for England at that time, for make una know, I don't want to empower una in this my emancipation campaign because I'm a cultural warrior. Law, the law una they say and they go call and say big law where they make up a parliament, all this law system. Now just the same law the way they did for our own village. Now just say for England, it then become a country where it be recognized internationally, globally, and the civilization be a precedent. The law for England, it be first been a law of status. That means the king or their own chief for their country. Which way talk him na law. And then he get his own chinda the way they apply law, they call and say Lord. That law for England, for a long time, it been on status. That means as a king, they believe saying a goddamn pui for the any way talk on a law. And people the way they work for ye, like lords and all those big people they get land them for ye, they hold land them for ye. They were quarter head them thing they be talking a law. But if we get some time where some people they call them the Normandies, they be attack England because they not be feel that society be just. Then talk to them one a law will be common for all man, it apply equally. And the only best person way for we apply law, where if he talk how law supposed to be applied, even when Parliament not make them, or when Gumba has the land decide, in the case of Ambazonia, now a judge, a magistrate, so they follow na president, judicial president, or whether they call and say common law. Law will be common to everybody. They follow na judicial president. It be more just, it be more equitable, because all man be equal in front of law. So when you talk about common law, you're actually talking about British people, their own tradition and their own custom. Right. If you talk about their own customary law for make and for women or country, people they go understand. So when it comes for citizenship, you will get at that time for colonialism. Any person who been a citizen for any territory, it be for the people that in a territory in a British people they control them. Their citizenship, it not be there for their constitution because they be considered as part of England. British citizens are abroad. So the law way it give them citizenship, now the law from England. And the law for England, for the people for Southern Cameroon, it will be based on what they call them subject of the Queen. That means say when the British government they be consider all themselves they work under their Queen. Like people then they say all man they work under a chief. When they conquer some land or a land or some village, then sign treaty with them, protectorate treaty. They give them those power protection from the Queen of England. They call them subject of the Queen. That means say the Queen a power, a army them, a kelebe them. Now they protect you. If people they are place go there for inside Queen. Any place you go get problem, they'll talk to you being a British subject. So they need to protect you. British, they will protect you. It will be based on the tribal, the kingdom, the way the chief that signed this treaty with England. Eventually, that law for English law, for the constitution for England, they can't change them, they will create the common law, the Commonwealth. So the Commonwealth nation, they call all man way there for Commonwealth as citizens of the Commonwealth. So for you to be a citizen for any British territory, either you be considered out of England, either you considered your citizenship based on the law where it grants citizenship or protections for people them as British subject or subjects to the Queen. Or after they create Commonwealth, the law it transfer them now the way they call and say you've been a citizen of the Commonwealth. So if you be for Commonwealth, that means say all una the work na for, in principle, una all been under Queen for England. Now why una see some country they do want come up for Commonwealth. So people the way them being a citizen for Southern Cameroon, it be been a people the way them be considered as subjects of the Queen or British subjects, or at another point, people the way them be member of the Commonwealth. So now why now for the way we get to it, they call it citizenship. And nobody just learn this thing for talk for professor them. I don't study them. I be one of those only Ambazonian them. We don't study our constitution them to the depth. I talk so one because amongst those of us who don't actually read the constitution and the case law them where it refer to the constitution, no between they even teach them for University of Boya. Very few people that don't learn case law in terms of the case law the way we be during the time of Southern Cameroon. I don't learn them. And I don't talk for juries them. And I feel assured and I say when it comes for communication, when they listen for one of our best of the best. So Digimas, you don't want to talk about citizenship, say not there for inside the constitution for Southern Cameroon. The reason why they no feel give citizenship inside the Southern Cameroon constitution, now because it will be awarded on the level of the Commonwealth, or in another case, if you call and say British subjects. So you the Digimas, you can't talk say citizenship for Southern Cameroon. It be based on the culture and custom of Southern Cameroon. How stupid and dull are you? Citizenship become from constitution. If you never say about the Southern Cameroon constitution, you don't mean I say it be based on our culture and law. No. Southern Cameroon itself, it be based on international treaty. It be based on laws. And those laws for our citizenship, it be granted by the United Kingdom's constitution. If you never listen for me very well. And me and Ambazonia then take this opportunity for learner. So the Digimas talk say I get some agreement here. I not get no agreement with somebody like him. An ugly man, shit no white blast. He's full of envy, jealousy for my activism. When you hear people they always talk about my position as a spokesperson for the governing council. I not be just the spokesperson. I don't want to tell you now Digimas. I'm the spokesperson of this liberation movement by default. The education I provide for our people is unmatched. It's unmatched. So you are a small jealous man, and Ambazonia should know this. So now already pardon me for the noise for background. Now the nature for hustling for abroad. So maybe when I know those way that for you to consider yourself as a citizen for any territory we don't be under England. It be based whether on a village we don't pay allegiance to the Queen of England or to the British Empire. Now say they consider them. Now why do you see for case law and for inside Southern Cameroon, some people then be there they not be fit pass them some judgment. Some cases they never baffled. Even I go read the baffled law them during that time then where they one sentence them to death because they've been an armed robber. They will make appeal. They will go to some place where certain law that no be fit apply for them. Certain protection of privileges no be fit apply for them. So for make them in a simpler way, if they go born you for Douala way come off Ambazonia, it no mean say you don't become na francophone. It no mean that so. If you be francophone, you come to Ambazonia, you come born your Pekin, they stay for inside Ambazonia. It no mean say you don't become an anglophone. Or just because you talk French, it no mean say you be a francophone in the context of what that word mean in Ambazonian context. So our people they need to know this one very, very well. So when you Digimas, you can't talk say Capo Daniel, you brainwash people them. And then you instead can bring a foolishness. Say the law of Southern Cameroon will be based on our custom and our tradition. No, it is not based on our custom and tradition. When I hear me very well, our country was built on treaties signed by the British people, on international law. Our constitution was written by the British people, not us. And all countries where they never Commonwealth, their constitution them, they will be written by the British, except for few countries like the United States, where they will write their own constitution. But all African countries them, where they be in a British territory, their constitution be written by England. The law, the way they passed them by the parliamentarians them, where they draw them from their customs and their traditions. Those laws them, not just an addition or amendment for their constitution them, but the basis for their constitution. Even Nigeria, na British law, and any country where they use common law, they use what they call them the president, the judicial precedent, will be international. Let me say, if you deal with common law system, if you deal, for instance, Southern Cameroon, a judge quote a law or a judgment passed in similar cases in England or even in Australia. So, now a very good thing for our people them to know, because law them and constitution they don't become abstract to we, because now something where it come from abroad. More. So when I sorry me, I talk with my people them here. So people like Digimas, when you hear they always talk, they always insist, now me I be first talk the one, now me I be first do this one. It is show now some complexity where they for them. People they suffer from inferiority complex, activism, inferiority. They look at me, Capo Daniel, even though we are fighting this thing, paying a lot of price, dedicating a lot of our time, sacrificing a lot of time and our life for this thing. These people, they are envy us. They look at us and they think they should be the ones doing what we are doing. And if the only thing he thinks he knows more than me is English, then he's an idiot, because even that English he does not know. The essence of language is communication. And I can tell you, Ambazonian, when it comes to communication, Capo Daniel is the best of the best. I'm the best communicator in the whole of Ambazonia. That's why I'm called Sense Pass King. So anyway, my country people, when I begin to ignore some of this stupidity, then way they come out of envy, jealousy. I don't know why he find a job or he applying for become the spokesperson, but he is not qualified. If he thinks that what makes you a spokesperson is your English language, then it shows you how stupid he is. So I would say Digimas is a very ugly man. And this is in Hong Kong, the culture of Hong Kong, they call people the way they are. You can look in Chinese movie, the movies of Hong Kong, like Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan. If you're a fat man, they call you a fat man. So if I call Digimas an ugly man, it's not an insult. He's really ugly. You look at him very well. He's the Mendoza of Ambazonia. He's the most ugliest man, undesirable by women. So, when I pardon me for my language, I go always use this type of language when for people the way they deserve them. Because I just say they feel they. That is how they feel it. It's nasty. Look at what La Republic is doing. Look at their own propagandists, their military attaché, Kunyam Titus. Look at what he's doing, how brutal he is. We must be in that level, because they don't drag we go put our poto. We need now people there that enter poto before they save Ambazonia. When we come out, we cross the bridge, we will go wash. We will go join church after the struggle don't finish. So when I get me faith, we'll be now on our vanguards. Me gonna know that one very well. Me Digimas go shit on me go sleep. You know, no nothing. Idiot. Failed activist.